So what we looked at now is, in the present tense, we have 4 forms. What was that? We said we did simple present, present continuous, present perfect, and finally present perfect continuous. Now we are going to look at the past tense. I said in all these 3 forms, we have 4 forms under each of those. So first one we did, now we go to the past tense and look at the forms in the past tense. So we are going to look at the second one, that is the past tense. In the past tense, we have 4 forms. What is that? That's what we are going to look at. Just like the present tense has 4 forms, the past tense and the future also has 4 forms. Okay, now we're going to look at the 4 forms of the past tense. Now, first we said, I loved. Okay, the first one we said, I loved. Okay, now when you say I loved, then look at the verb loved. Therefore, we say this is in the simple past tense. Loved, I loved. Then look at the verb loved. So it is the simple past tense. So that's the first of its kind. Okay? Simple past tense. That is the first of its kind. And the verb says loved. The verb love tells us that it's the first simple past tense. Now we're going to look at the second part. The second sentence says, I was loving. I was loving. When I look at, say, I was loving, then what happens is, was loving, look at the verb was loving. In the was loving, the verb was loving tells us is the past and continuous. Was loving. So the second form is, it is past. Past and continuous. Past and continuous. Past and continuous tense. It is past and continuous tense. And in the third type, we have the sentence here, I loved. I had loved. The third one is, I had. I had loved. So when I say, I had loved, the had loved verb, the had loved indicates that we get the third form, and that is the had loved. Says it's the past and perfect. Had loved. So we talk about the past, past and perfect tense. We are in the past perfect tense. Okay. And finally, the fourth type. What is the fourth sentence I have here? I had been loving. I had been loving. Look at the verb had been loving. The verb had been loving tells us that it is in the past, had been loving, perfect, and it is continuing. So past, perfect, continuous tense. So the fourth type is the past, perfect. And it is continuing, continuous. Tense. Past, perfect, continuous tense. Let's look at the 4 forms now. In the past tense, we have 4 different forms. The first being the simple. The first being the simple present tense. And the verb is loved. I loved. So, first simple past tense. I loved. I loved means it is simple past. Was loving. The verb was loving says is past and continuous. Past and continuous tense. And the third verb had loved says it is past and perfect tense. It is past and perfect tense. And finally, the fourth one says had been loving. Had been past, been loving perfect, and it loving is going on past, perfect, continuous tense. So we are looking at the main tenses. We have past tense, we have 4 forms, present tense 4 forms, and now we are doing the past tense 4 forms. First being the simple past tense, past continuous, and third one past perfect and past perfect continuous. So we have done the 2 main types of tenses, present and the past. Loved, past, simple and past. Was loving, past and continuous, which is loving. Had loved, past and perfect. Had been loving, past, perfect and continuous tense.